Hi guys, I am here with this week's Awkward Author video. This is actually the second time I've tried filming it, so if I sound a little bit annoyed, that's because I've just said all this before, but for some reason my computer ate the video, so I'm starting over from scratch. Recently, Amazon.com has made some changes to their policy, and because I'm an author and friends with other authors and interact with other authors online, I've seen a lot of people ranting and raving and also being just generally confused about these policy changes. So I wanted to make a video to talk about these two different changes, how they affect authors, and why maybe this ranting and raving is out of line. The first change actually only affects a portion of authors whose books are available on Amazon. It affects authors who have books available in the Kindle Owner's Lending Library. I have a really hard time saying that. Amazon abbreviates it as KOLL, so that is what I'm going to call it. Books available in this program can be borrowed by those customers who have an Amazon Prime account and I guess a Kindle or a Kindle app on their device, and they can borrow these books for no extra charge. So it's included with their Prime membership fees. In the past, how it has worked is Amazon will set aside a big chunk of change each month and then pay authors a percentage of this based on the total number of Kindle Owner Lending, KOLL books that were borrowed each month. So you don't really know how much you're going to be paid because it depends on how many total KOLL books are borrowed each month, and then you receive whatever fraction of that as a fee for each borrow, which is a good system, but not a perfect system. So Amazon has taken steps to actually probably improve the system and make it a little bit more fair. So the new policy that Amazon announced is they are still going to pay authors for these KOLL borrows, but now they are going to pay them based on the number of pages that have been read by the borrower. Of course, Amazon doesn't, know if you're actually reading, but they can, I guess, see, looking at your Kindle device or your Kindle app, whether you've actually opened a book at all and how many of those pages you've actually looked at. So if you have a book in the Kindle Owner KOLL and somebody borrows it, but they don't actually ever open the file or open the book, you don't get a dime. You get paid zilch. Meanwhile, if you have a book that's like 400 pages long and you are such a good writer that readers love your books and, love what you have to say and are so addicted that they read the whole book through to the end, then you're going to get paid for that reader reading 400 pages. My dog is sleeping in the other room and he's having a dream and he's making all these funny noises. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Now, the amount that an author gets paid per page, it's still going to depend on the total number of borrows and the total number of pages that have been read that month by the members of the KOLL. Now, not all books are available in the KOLL. If you're a self-published author, you have to select to make your book available, and you can opt out of it at any time. There's no fee to make your book available. There's no fee to opt out. If you have a problem with Amazon's new policy, you can easily opt out of the program. Your book won't be available on the KOLL. That's the end of that. I mean, there's no reason to rant if you're a self-published author and you have that ability. You might as well do it, unless you are actually making money by people reading your book in the KOLL, and then you might want to keep your book available there. There are some traditionally published books whose publishers have made the book available in the KOLL, and then authors don't really have much say in the matter. Now, the problem with KOLL is that the authors knew they were going to be paid a percentage based on the number of borrows their book had, so they could get anyone they knew with an Amazon Prime account to borrow their book, thus ensuring that they would get paid even if that person had no intention of reading the book. I'm sure there are authors, enterprising authors, who might even have set up exchanges where it's, I'll borrow your book if you borrow mine type of thing, and then we'll get money. So Amazon realized that there were a lot of books that were being borrowed that weren't being read, and this was an abuse of their system, so they decided to do something to cut down on it, and that is the result. The other change actually affects more authors. It affects basically any author who has a book available on Amazon, which I'm guessing is pretty much any author out there, and this concerns reviews of the book. It's not so much a change to Amazon's policy, but a change to how they are enforcing it. Amazon has always stipulated that family and close friends of authors or, producers of whatever content or products are out there are not eligible to write reviews and post them on Amazon.com. They can post reviews on their own sites, they can post reviews on Goodreads, which is owned by Amazon, they can post reviews elsewhere. But Amazon wants to make sure that the reviews on their site are fair and unbiased, and they feel that, rightly, friends and relatives might leave more glowing reviews of a book, and so it might not be totally fair and unbiased. This has always been Amazon's policy. That's not really a new change. The recent change is that Amazon's got a little bit stricter about how they determine who is a friend, and they are using social media to track your interactions with others. And if they feel that you know someone, whether you've corresponded with them on Twitter or Facebook or wherever, they are then blocking that person from writing a review on Amazon of your book. What this means is that some of the blocked reviews may be by people who don't really know you, who've just had a few interactions with online, but quite a few of the reviews that are being blocked are probably going to be from people you actually know and who may be inclined to write nicer things because they know you. So Amazon has made these changes because I guess it's come to their attention that there might be some reviews out there that maybe aren't totally honest, and so they want to try to make their site as helpful as they can for the consumer, and they feel this is a good change to enforce that. And I think they might be on the right track here. Not too long ago, I was a freelance reviewer. I worked for a publication that specialized in doing reviews of self-published or independently published books. And so these were the books that I reviewed. When I was writing my reviews, I would have to include the publication date of the book, and you'd be surprised how many self-published books don't have the publication date in the book as you would find in a normal book. So I would have to do some research online to find this information. A lot of times the only place I could find this information was Amazon. Authors would not have websites, or if they did, it would be lacking in information that actually helped me. So Amazon.com always did have this information. So I would find myself on the detail page for particular books. And the books I read and reviewed varied from good to mediocre to heinously bad. And so sometimes I would find myself on the detail page for one of these heinously bad books, and there, among other things, I would see like 20 reviews for the book, and every single one gave it 5 stars and talked about how wonderful the book was. This looks suspicious, first of all, because very few books out there get nothing but 5-star reviews. So if a book has nothing but 5-star reviews, I'm thinking they're all a load of crap, because that's just kind of weird. I had actually read this book and I knew how awful it was, and it was really strange that not a single one of the reviewers mentioned the host of typos that appeared, and grammatical errors and plot holes and inconsistencies and weird formatting and all the things that were wrong with this book, and just kind of skipped over that and talked about how wonderful it was. So when I would see something like this, I did not believe any of these reviews. I assumed they were either A, friends that the author had gotten to write these reviews, or B, people that the author had paid to have write these reviews. And in both cases, that violates Amazon's terms of service. So Amazon's new change of using social media to determine who you may or may not know is aimed at cutting down on this sort of abuse. It doesn't do anything about the abuse of people who pay to have people write reviews of their books. That's something Amazon's going to have to work a little bit on. I'm not sure how they're going to crack down on that, but I do applaud them for taking steps to crack down on this abuse. So both of these recent policy changes by Amazon have actually, I think, been inspired by abuse. In general, abuse by authors and others. In the one case, abuse of the KOLL, paying authors per borrow. So whether you wrote an actual book or, a 20-page pamphlet, you were going to be paid the same amount of money, which didn't really seem fair. And also you could get people to borrow your book, and even if they had read the book, you would get money for it. So that didn't really seem fair, and Amazon realized this and took steps to fight it. Amazon doesn't have to have the KOLL. It doesn't even have to pay you for people who haven't paid for your book, but they do this, and that's nice of them. And in terms of the reviews, again, it's abuse by authors and others who get people to review their book, even if they haven't read it or just say nice things even if they have read it and the book is awful. It hurts Amazon because people then don't trust the reviews as much, and you want a trusted review. You want an honest review on a consumer site like that. So yeah, I'm bucking the trend and actually saying yay Amazon, which is kind of surprising. I don't agree with everything Amazon does. They've done some really horrible things that I disagree with, but this is a case where I think they're doing the right thing, and so I just want to come out and say that. And also to explain things and clear up some misconceptions that authors seem to have about these policy changes. So I don't know, I hope that helps. Again, neither of these changes would have happened if people weren't abusing the system. When people unfortunately abuse the system, then, you know, Amazon has to take steps to make things more fair and equitable. And so, you know, there are some honest reviews that are going to get lost in the shuffle. There may be some authors who might not get as much money as they should get. With the KOLL changes, Amazon, I think, is just doing the best that they can with the way things are right now. I'm an author. My name's Alyssa Grasso. I put out new Awkward Author videos every Tuesday. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel, give this video a thumbs up, or leave a comment below. And I will see you guys again next Tuesday.